What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I'm making an ASMR video. I'm making this video for two reasons. First of all is I really actually like ASMR. I use it to fall asleep. I use it as like just white noise while I work. And the second reason is that I know my friend Tyler absolutely hates ASMR. So shout out to you, Tyler. So, I don't know if this is going to work. You can probably hear my dogs walking upstairs, and I apologize. So today, since this is just sort of a more trial video, I'm going to be just doing two different things. We're going to start off with the Haynes manual of the 1986 to 91 RX-7, and then we're going to do some brushing with this and my 12A rotor. So we're just going to do some light reading to start off with. This thing is so greasy. So we're on Chapter 2, Part B. I just happened to open up to this. Chapter 2, Part B, General Overhaul Procedures. Before sliding the balance weight over the eccentric shaft, attach the thrust plate to the back of it with a film of grease. Final assembly and installation. Reinstall the flywheel/drive plate as described in Chapter 2, Part A. On manual transmission equipped vehicles, install the clutch disc and pressure plate. Mount the oil strainer pickup with a new gasket and tighten the bolts to specified torque. Install the oil pan and right engine mount and bracket as described in Chapter 2, Part A. On turbo models, mount the oil filler pipe and attach the oil inlet pipe to the front housing using new washers. Install the EGR valve, see Chapter 6. Attach the left engine mount and bracket, see Section 7. Attach the oil metering pump and oil metering nozzles and route the oil lines. See Chapter 2, Part A. If you're doing an emissions delete, you don't need that, and you'll need to install the block-off plates and block-off screws for the OMP. It doesn't say that in here, but speaking from experience. Using new O-rings, install the oil filter pedestal on the rear housing. Tighten the pedestal bolts to torque listed in this chapter's specifications. Install a new oil filter and spark plugs. Bolt the eccentric shaft pulleys into place, referring to Chapter 2, Part A for the torque specification. Install the new water pump housing and water pump. See Chapter 3. Don't forget to use shims on the studs where the gasket does not mount. Tighten the water pump housing fasteners to the torque listed in this chapter's specifications. Mount the intake and exhaust manifolds as described in Chapter 2. Part A. Install the turbocharger at this time. If equipped, see Chapter 4. Step 14. Sorry, I haven't been saying the steps. Step 14. Install the crank angle sensor, alternator brackets, and alternator See Chapter 5. Step 15. Install the air pump brackets and air pump. See Chapter 6. Step 16. If removed, reinstall the sending units for oil pressure and coolant temperature. Use a light coating of sealer on the threads and tighten them securely. Step 17. Attach the remaining components that were detached during engine removal. See illustrations. Step 18. Install the engine as described in Section 5. Then refer to Section 23 for startup and break-in information. Initial startup and break-in overhaul. Have a Warning. Have a fire extinguisher handy when starting the engine for the first time. Oh, it's a Rotary. Step 1. Once the engine has been installed in the vehicle, double check the engine oil and coolant levels. With the spark plug out of the engine and ignition system disassembled, see Section 3. Crank the engine until oil pressure registers on the gauge or the light goes out. Install the spark plugs and hook up spark plug wires and restore the ignition functions. See Section 3. Step 4. Start the engine. It may take a few moments for the fuel system to build up pressure, but the engine should start without a great deal of effort. Note, if backfiring occurs through the throttle body, recheck the ignition timing. 5. After the engine starts, it should be allowed to warm up to normal operating temperature. While the engine is warming up, make a thorough check for fuel, oil, and coolant leaks. After the engine starts, it should be allowed to warm up to normal operating temperature. While the engine is warming up, make a thorough check for fuel, oil, and coolant leaks. 6. Shut the engine off and recheck the oil and coolant levels. 7. Drive the vehicle gently for the first 600 miles. Vary cruising speeds, keep the engine speed low, and keep a constant check on the oil level. It is not unusual for an engine to use extra oil during the break-in period. At approximately 600 miles, change the oil and filter. For the next few hundred miles, drive the vehicle normally. Do not pamper it or abuse it. Then consider the engine broken in. If you guys are new to Rotaries, I'd highly recommend picking up the Haynes manual. I think it was like $20. This is what it looks like, and the reason I have this is because the engine in my car is out of a 1987 RX-7, so I really just needed this for the engine and not for the rest of the car. So for part 2 of this video, we're just going to do some light brushing on my 12A rotor that blew up. I blew an apex seal in this motor, and you could see a lot of disaster that came with that. This actual rotor was used in the donut media Up to Speed on the Mazda RX-7. When they talk about blown apex seals, they cut to a clip from one of my videos where I show this rotor and the blown apex seal. It's extremely hard to do ASMR in my house because the kitchen is right simulation. So if you see the video has a bunch of cuts, it's because someone's walking. Just like that. And it's raining, so the water pump keeps going off. Out rebuilding my current 13B. I'd probably do a pretty big street board, but I just want to rebuild it, refresh the motor so I know it'll last a while. It's doing fine right now, but the oil control rings are pretty shot, so after like a 8500 RPM pull, I do shoot a lot of oil out of the exhaust, and more oil than rotaries usually do. Enjoyed my ASMR experience. I was gonna say experiment, because this was really just more of an experiment, but this is also an experience. If you guys want me to do more of these, please leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to do more. I just thought this would kind of be a fun thing to do. If I do more ASMR, it'll always be RX-7, Rotary, or car themed. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video.